What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another bang. So in today's video, we will be breaking down the playoff matchup between the LA Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. Now, this definitely will be an interesting matchup. These two teams have a lot of history. And man, with all that being said, before we do get into it, you already know, if you enjoy NBA content, subscribe to the channel. Road to 1,000 subscribers, man. We pushing, man. And I do appreciate all of you guys, the people who watch the video and like the channel or like the videos. But with all that being said, let's switch over and let's get right into it. Alright, so as you guys can see, we have switched over, and I do have the playoff bracket right here. And just so you guys know, you can see that these two teams haven't even started playing yet. They have not started playing yet. You see it right here. Let me scroll down for you guys, but yeah, you see it right here. They have not played yet. So this is prior to the game even starting, because more than likely this video will be released during their game. So with that being said, as we can see, we got the number 4 seeded Clippers against the number 5 seeded Mavericks. And let's just take a look at the LA Clippers regular season matchups between the against the Dallas Mavericks, so that we can see how they fared against each other. So as you guys can see, we got the regular season right here, and we already see when it comes to the first game against the Dallas Mavericks, it looks like they lost. They got blew out 144-26. That's a tough loss, man. That's a tough loss. So currently they're 0-1. They ran into Dallas again, and it looks like they got the dub in this one, 107-88. So they're currently 1-1. Let's keep scrolling to see if we see another matchup. They matched up once again against the Dallas Mavericks, and they got another dub, 120-111. So currently they're 2-1 against this Dallas Mavericks team. Let's see if there were any other matchups between the two before we move forward. Alright, so it looks like there wasn't any other matchups, and overall they were 2-1 against this Dallas Mavericks team. Another thing to note is injuries. Let's take a look at the injury report. Oh man, something you don't want to see, man. Y'all see it, man. It looks like Kawhi Leonard has been ruled out for the first game. Now, this is definitely unfortunate. You don't want to see that at all. Now, let's take a look at the Dallas Mavericks injury report. Let's see what they working with over here. So, when it comes to this team, it looks like Greg Brown III is out for a personal reason and won't play. But he may play because this was on April 13th. But other than that, let's switch over. Let's take a look at the stats for these teams. So, when it comes to the LA Clippers, they are 12th when it comes to points per game out of 30. When it comes to their offensive rating, they're 4th out of 30. When it comes to their opponent's points per game, they are 10th out of 30. And when it comes to their defensive rating, they are 17th out of 30. So overall, they have a pretty balanced offense and defense overall, in my opinion. When it comes to the offense, they got a top 5 offense, and then when it comes to the defense, it's at 17th, but they still do limit opposing teams to a low amount of points. So that's something to note. Now let's scroll down, take a look at some of the team stats, and then I'll talk about the players. All right, so we down here with the team stats. Let's see what stands out. I'll say one thing that stands out is their field goal percentage, 6th in the league. Also, another thing that stands out is just their free throw percentage at 3rd in the league. So they definitely efficient on the free throw line. Steals, they're 7th, and other than that, everything else, nothing else really stands out besides their 3-point percentage, which is 6th. So they definitely shoot the 3 very well. Now let's scroll down to the players, talk about that. Now, when it comes to the players, I think the most important player will be James Harden. The reason I say James Harden is just because he will be the player that will be dishing out and passing the ball the most. And one thing we know about James Harden is that sometimes when he actually gets in the playoffs, that's when you see a change in him. You know, he starts to make mistakes. He starts to also, just become less efficient, things of that nature. So I definitely say James Harden is the most important player. Let's just talk about his stats. So his field goal percentage isn't that great, but when it comes to his 3-point percentage, he's been shooting at 38% on damn near 7 attempts, which is great. He's only averaged 16 points per game this year, but like I said, he is the facilitator for this team. As you can see, 8.5 assists and 2.6 turnovers. So that's something that you do like to see. But another important piece will be Kawhi Leonard. As we know, Kawhi Leonard isn't playing on the first game, but will he play in the series? That's a question that you really got to ask yourself, because not having your best player on your team can definitely impact if this team wins or losing. Yes, he is the best player. Just look at the stats, man. 41% from 3 on 5 attempts, 52% field goals. Super efficient player, man. Super efficient. He getting 6 rebounds, pretty much 4 assists, 1.6 steals. Just efficient, bro. What else can I say? Also, Paul George. Will Paul George play well? Sometimes, in my opinion, Paul George tries to do too much, and it can get him in sticky situations. But will he play well being the number 1 option at this point, since Kawhi Leonard isn't playing in his first game? That's going to be interesting. Also, let's talk about Ivica Zubac. Can he up the rebounding, man? Can he up the rebounding? As you guys can see, he had 9.2, but I think against this Dallas Mavericks team, you need more. You need to really, attack the boards. And can he be a deterrent for players like Kyrie Irving in the paint? That should be very interesting. And then overall, they got a solid bench. Can Russell Westbrook provide, that veteran leadership, not do too much when he is on the floor, and, just play off what the defense give you? It should definitely be interesting. But they got plenty of good role players. With the role players, you just want them to hit their threes. As you can see, for the most part, they got some solid role players. Norman Powell, he's a very good role player. And with all that being said, let's switch over to the Dallas Mavericks. All right, so for the Dallas Mavericks, let's see what they got going on. So with the Dallas Mavericks, their coach is Jason Kidd. Shout out to him. And when it comes to points per game, they are 7th out of 30, so that's pretty good. Offensive rating, 10th out of 30. When it comes to their opponent's points per game, they're 20th out of 30. And when it comes to their defensive rating, they're 17th out of 30. So they got a top 10 offense, but defense, it raised some red flags on defense. Now, let's go take a look at their team stats. All right, so team stats, let's see what stands out. So one thing that definitely stands out is just the amount of 3-point attempts this team shoots. They're second when it comes to 3-point attempts and 13th in the league. So overall, very good 3-point shooting team, and they shoot a lot. Another note is turnovers. When it comes to turnovers, they're 4th in the league, and that's actually a good thing. That means that they don't turn over the ball too much. So that's actually a good thing. So that's something you want to see. Besides that, 2-point percentage at 4. They're 4th in the league. So overall, they have a pretty good 2-point percentage. They're very efficient when they're past the 3-point line. Now let's talk about the players. I believe that Luka Doncic is the best player in this series. And that's if Kawhi Leonard doesn't play. Now, if Kawhi Leonard does play, it may be a debate because of how efficient Kawhi Leonard is. But overall, I think Luka is the best player in this series. And let's just take a look at what he's doing out there, man. 33.9 points per game on 48% field goal, 38% from three on 10 threes per game. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. He's averaging 9.2 rebounds, 9.8 assists. And overall, been having a monster season. Kyrie Irving, another player that's been playing very well as lately. He's shooting 49% from the field, 41% from three on 7 threes per game. And he's even doing some damage on the assist column and rebounding column. As we can see, when it comes to assists, he had 5.2, and rebounds, he had 5. So he's been playing well. Another note, man. When it comes to this team, I'm just keep it real. It's really going to come down to, can you contain Luka Doncic? Now, me personally, I think that they can. The LA Clippers, they may be able to slow him down, but not stop him, man. I don't think anybody could stop Luka Doncic, especially when he's in his bag. And then if you do slow down Luka, you still got a game plan around Kyrie. Kyrie is a hard guard as well. So that's definitely tough overall for this team. Let's talk about some of the role players, man. PJ Washington, he just came to the team, and he's been all right. I don't think you got to worry about him too much. He played okay defense and got some size to him, so that's pretty good. But other than that, Tim Hardaway Jr., he could definitely get hot. As you guys can see, he shoots 7 threes per game at 35%. You don't want him to get hot. If he gets hot, that could cause a lot of problems. Dante Exum been shooting damn near 50% from three. That shit is crazy. You don't want him to get hot neither if he's playing. And with all that being said, let's just get down to it. What is my prediction for this series? Now, for this series, I believe that the LA Clippers will win this series. I got them in 6. The reason I got them in 6 is just because of the coaching. I think that Ty Lue is a better coach than Jason Kidd. And if Kawhi actually comes back, I definitely think they got more than enough defenders, more than enough bodies to slow down Luka Doncic. Now, if Kawhi Leonard doesn't come back, then I don't know. It could be very spooky. And if he doesn't come back, I got Dallas in 7. But I'm going to stick with the LA Clippers in 6. If you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff, and I'm out. Peace.